everyone. Today we are going to talk about transplanting seedlings and the importance of doing that. So a few weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks now, it's been a little while, I went through and was thinning my seedlings, which is the process where you're cutting out any extra seeds you have within each seed cell so that one plant can really flourish. And I did that, and it's so wrenching to take out these plants that have grown and have germinated and have thrived, that there were some where I felt like the root had come out with it, so I wanted to try and save them. So I went through and put some into an empty tray I had with some soil. I think I did maybe 5 or 6, only the ones that I thought the root was there. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to replant them into these little cell packs and see if they survive. And I really wasn't expecting anything because they weren't looking great, but I put them under the grow light, and here we are a few weeks later, and these guys were part of the ones that I saved, and they look the best out of any that I had, that I transplanted. So I thought that was just amazing, that if we really wanted to, it seems like we can save some of those that we thin out. So I went ahead and did that. But the point of why I'm showing you these today is because look how well they're doing. From these little seeds that were germinated but I thinned out to replanted and are now thriving on their own and look actually better than the ones that are in my cell tray because they've been transplanted and have all this room to grow, and the roots are thriving and just more space. So that's why we want to make sure we transplant. So I'm not thinning today, but I am going to go through and transplant all of these stock and Snapdragons because they are ready. And I'm seeing a big difference between the ones that have been transplanted and that have not. So it really does make a difference. So we're going to go through and do that today. So all you need is some canisters that you've got left over from the garden. Anytime you can, keep these. You might have gotten them at the garden store. I think you can use a variety of different things, really anything that can hold the plant. I would say probably like a 4-inch size is what would be best. And then we're going to pot into here. We're going to use potting soil now that the seedlings have grown and are starting to really flourish. And then we'll put them back under the light and water them in and just watch them really take off. The last thing I use is a butter knife, which I got from some advice from Floret during their free gardening workshop they sent out online, which was great for seed starting. She says, you know what, you can just transplant with a butter knife, which I think is great. You don't necessarily need a fancy trowel or shovel. So we're going to get after it here. I'm going to show you how I do it, and hopefully it's helpful. Okay, so you can see here, here's our cell pack. So I'm literally going to go into each one and take each one out and replant it into its own container. Grab one of my circle or one of my square 4-inch containers. Get regular potting soil because the roots are established enough that they can handle that. Put that into here. Let's come down. My oven wants me to rotate my dish. BRB. So now we're going to transplant. So I'm going to zoom you down and zoom you in and see what's going on here. I'm taking my little 4-inch can of potting soil. I'm going to go into my seed tray, go around the outside of the cell and try and lift up the whole thing. Beautiful. And you can see there's roots in there. I'm going to place that down. Cover it up with some more soil. A little more. Great. and water that puppy in. Live long and prosper. Done and done. Okay, let's keep rolling through them. So see if you can see in here on this one. See that little itty baby? That is one that came back after I thinned it. I could cut it out again, but you know what? I'm just gonna let it roll. Look at those beautiful roots. Oh, so pretty, so pretty. I can tell you I'm actually flying through this because I've got dinner going in the oven and I have to pick up my almost 11-month-old soon. And usually I'm very meticulous with how I'm doing this, but honestly, it's going fine, really kind of rushing through it. You know, a lot of people, a lot of us have things to do, places to go, people to take care of and see. So you just transplant those seedlings. You come back up. You fill them up with water to make sure that they get a lot of love after just being transplanted to a new home. Fill them right up, fill them right up. And you're just knocking them out, you know? I do have one tip that I've realized from doing this a couple times now is the last time I did this, I watered my tray of seedlings before I transplanted them, and they were much more crumbly and more apt to falling apart. This time I'm doing them and they're kind of dry. I mean, they're still moist, but dry, and they're transplanting a lot easier. I'm getting much more of the cell, which is gonna let the plant be a little healthier as it's being transplanted. So I recommend that. Don't water your tray of plants right before you transplant it, because it's just going to be kind of a crumbly mess. Whereas if it's a little dry but still moist, it'll hold together much better. That's my tip. Okay, so we've done several now, looking good. They're watered in, so what I'll do is put these under the grow light, just so that they have the night to really adjust to their new little home, maybe a couple nights, and then I will transplant them. Not transplant them, but take them out to the greenhouse so that they start to harden up before I plant them outside. So as a recap, transplanting your seedlings is important because the roots, when they have more space to grow, will flourish. Your plant will grow stronger, healthier, and be more bountiful. When are you going to do this? You are going to do this when they are about 2 inches tall, is what I've read. And certainly with these, it seems like they are ready, especially since my little transplants that were even tinier and I didn't think were going to make it are just thriving. So we're happy about that. Also, what you'll do is you'll want to fertilize these once a week with a certain type of fertilizer. I use seaweed emulsion and fish. What is the name of that? Hold the phone. Here we go. This is what I use to fertilize Neptune's Harvest. This was recommended in one of Florette's flower books. Thank you, Erin. And it seems to be doing really well. So you'll do once a week based on those instructions, fertilizing these in so that they're getting the food and everything they need. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. Enjoy, happy planting. And I'm so excited for your little seedlings to grow. It's just so fulfilling, you know? That starting from this really tiny seedling and so much life just erupts out of these plants. It's amazing. Anyways, enjoy. I'll see you later. Thank you. My tray of seedlings. Let's move that. Okay, so I've got you zoomed in here. We're gonna focus on the action. So I'm gonna take it's my oven. Thank you.